Sup, nerds? Welcome to another Ronin review. Today, you are joined by your hosts, Adam Ronin, and the guy who's normally behind the camera, Boss Battle Gordy. But let me be honest with you, I don't have the best PC skills. He's got more PC skills, so I said, Gordy, get out from behind the camera and let's shoot a review together. Today, we're doing the HORI Tactical Assault Commander Pro Type M2. Whoa! Alright guys, I'm excited to talk about this with you. So, HORI hit us up and they're like, you guys do decent reviews. And we said, sure, yeah. And then they're like, we got a couple things we want you to take a look at, do some reviews on the channel, we trust your opinions. So they sent us this here, which is, at the time of this shooting, is not quite out yet. This will be out in the next week or two, retailing for $149.99, and links for that will be available in the description when the release comes. But I want to get a couple of things out in the open here. We love video games. This is a gaming channel, but we're not great at video games. And we aren't particularly PC players by any means. Me, 0%. Gordy, more than that.
A little bit.
What would you say if you had to break up your gaming into percentages? Per PC gaming takes up what?
15%. 20%.
So still minimal stuff. So that said, we are extremely casual gamers. We do not play first-person shooters or any type of shooters in a competitive level at all. Our opinions on this are coming from a completely casual sense, okay? So those of you that are gonna be watching this video, you're probably better at PC gaming than us. You probably take these things a lot more serious. Therefore, you're gonna be looking for details that we may gloss over or have not quite as much knowledge as you might expect. But again, these are casual opinions, but we do have a basis of what we do enjoy and what we do not enjoy about this. So the first thing, when we take it out of the box, Gordy, you're gonna be feeling it.
Yes, you are going to be feeling it.
When you felt this, because we reviewed an older model of this like 2 or 3 years ago. The feel of this, to me, it's been a while since we felt that, but
this is less cheap. This is like
less cheap. Now, not that we had a problem, because we actually liked the first one back when me and Timmy reviewed it. But out of the box, markedly, this is much better.
It feels much better.
It feels much better.
Sure.
One thing to note is the mouse that comes with it is the stock mouse, but you can, if you have your own mouse, you can use that instead of this one if you prefer. This one does not have as many buttons as you were playing. You're like, I wish I had
my Logitech.
Your Logitech. So you could have used that if we had that here with us, in theory. One
thing I don't know, it does support these buttons here, and there is an app, and we'll get that into that later, but if you have like a Logitech that has buttons, that has an onboard RAM for you to program what those buttons do, you might run into some problems, but in terms of something simple like this, I don't think you'll have any issues.
Yes, excellent. So out of the box, build quality is good. So we've got red cherry. Yep.
Well, I don't know. So these guys right here, to me, they feel like. So a lot of people use, you know, like mechanical keyboards when they do PC. These feel like kind of like they're simulating it, but they have way more give.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're not quite the branded of the red cherry, but they have that almost a little bit of a feel to it, but just slightly different. But still a nice solid build quality that I feel is in your typical mechanical keyboard. And the mouse, I don't have a whole lot of opinions on if this is a great mouse or not. It's a little weighty, not too heavy, but not super light and cheap feeling. Like, it's a decent quality mouse, especially when mice are going, mice, I don't know. Especially when those are going for like $60, $70 a pop. I feel like this does have some dollar value to it, so it's not a bad mouse by any means. So once they get this out and they plug it into their PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, we did all of our testing on a PlayStation 4 Pro. They're going to want to open up the companion app, are they not, to configure to whatever their preferences are and their game of choice. Because we tested this on 2 games. We tested this on Fortnite Season 8, and we tested this on Apex Legends. We had to do vastly different control schemes for both. So you're going to find that this app is a lifesaver in terms of making this how you want to play. What are your thoughts on the app? and the functionality that goes along with it.
Well, first of all, before you get to the app, make sure you have it on the right setting.
What is that?
So we have our PS4, PS3, and the other one, which we didn't test, but
yeah, we didn't test it on PS3 because we don't have one. So.
Yeah, but it works. It is guaranteed, according to the website, to work on PS3. So and it's got a button for it. The app is awesome.
The app is actually very surprisingly very slick and very in depth. We downloaded the iOS version of the app, so we don't have any experience with the Android version of the app. Can't really speak for that. But the iOS version got some bad ratings on the store for whatever reason. But it seems like that they were rating it for the wrong purposes, using it for the wrong purposes. So when you go to download the app, ignore the ratings you see in the store, download it, and it works very nicely.
It pairs with it, finds the device super easy. You'll need a firmware update or an update. And then once that's going, you'll have multiple profiles. You'll be able to go into any profile.
You can make profiles per game, if you want to.
Each profile has a color. You'll be able to tell. There's a little LED here, and you'll know that you're in that profile. What I did, Fortnite has a preset. There's a whole entire menu of presets, everything from Battlefield to Fortnite. And you pop in there. So your big games
have already got the presets,
You can pop in there, customize it there, and then add that to a profile. Name the profile, and then you can start working on it. You can start perfecting your profile to your taste.
So as you're playing the game, you can hop into the app and adjust controls on the fly in real time, which is cool.
Yeah.
So you don't have any issues with having to back out, go in, save, let it sync, and then go back in. You could be playing and be like, dang, I wish that my pickup button was this key instead. You go into your app, switch it, and boom, right on the fly, it's there. It's very slick.
So speaking of that, we first started with Fortnite. So I used the default Fortnite, which worked really well. I like the button layout, but I did change this to square on the PlayStation. And then I use this to scroll through weapons and this guy right here back and forth. And then I changed the mouse acceleration setting a little bit because just to make it a little bit more comfortable. But the preset was pretty spot on. I liked it. But when we switched over to Apex Legend...
That was a different story. Not a bad story by any means, but there was a whole lot of more time to go in and customize. There wasn't a preset Apex Legends preset, was there?
No, there was not.
So, which is fine, but that does have a few more control mechanics that are different than, say, Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that. So we did have to spend quite a bit more time getting that set up and running for Apex Legends, but once you got it going, it seemed to be a pretty seamless experience.
I tried a few things. Eventually I just put this guy on the side, back to the D-pad, used most of the default buttons, and this guy right here came in Fortnite, not so much. So on the previous model, before I go into this, on the previous model there were some complaints about the mouse acceleration, where, I've seen videos where people, move the mouse left and right when they're
strafing and stuff like that.
Shooting from the hip.
Yeah.
And then they zoom in and it's it's not acceptable how fast it's moving.
And I do believe that when we did our first review of one of the earlier models, there were people in the comments that were like, I mean, there's problems with this, and this. Those were not things we ran into because we didn't have the know-how, so to speak.
The higher expectations and the experience with
because given the fact that we are purely controller players, when we're hopping over this, we don't have a whole lot of preconceived notions of what to expect on a controller or on a mouse and keyboard compared to the controller. So when we reviewed the first model, it was a bit more uneducated than I think that we are now. However, those problems that persisted on the older models seem to be fairly rectified at this point.
Yeah, I'm digging it. When I was in Apex Legends, which is a first-person battle royale shooter, I set up my snipe button here, which is like a godsend. So I can set the sensitivity when this button is held down on the mouse. So you have your standard DPI, you can switch so it's more sensitive, less sensitive. You zoom in and your sensitivity gets a little tighter, but if you need that little edge to get that headshot, you move over the guy, zoom in, start moving up to the head and hit that snipe button, and you just tap it up a little bit and it's perfect. It jumps right into the zone that you need. So this snipe button is super cool.
What's interesting, and I'm not trying to say that it will advance your skills to a next level because there is a huge learning curve if you're going from a controller to this. But very first night we were testing this, we did 2 full days of testing. First game we tried it was Fortnite. Neither of us are good at Fortnite by any stretch of the imagination. We rarely get kills. We never have won like a duos or like a squad.
It's just a weird feeling game to us. We don't connect.
However, you got in your first game.
Yeah.
You sniped a dude in the head. Got that. You got a headshot right away.
Yeah,
boom, got a kill. And I was just like on the couch. I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? You're getting kills?"
Yeah.
After playing on a keyboard and mouse within like 4 minutes.
Placed in top 10 that
Placed
round.
in top 10,
and
that was because of the precision that you got with this keyboard and mouse.
it felt like it. Like
it's interesting because there's got to be a fine line there. At what point does that consider you? I don't know, not cheating, but like you have a lot more control of your accuracy. And we're not ninja or anything by the means, but the ability to get more pinpoint accuracy in shots with this and in Apex Legends and probably other shooters like Call of Duty and Battlefield are much, much higher once you overcome the learning curve of playing on a keyboard and mouse, unless you already have that previous experience. If you're jumping from a PC environment over to a console experience, this will absolutely help you transition over to that where you can take those skills that you have, because everyone's always saying, "Oh, we can't do crossplay with PC and PlayStation 4 stuff because people on PC have the competitive advantage with keyboard and mouse." Not anymore.
No, not so.
Now you have that same advantage with the HORI TAC Pro M Type 2.
Yes.
No, Type M2.
Type M2. So
yeah, go ahead.
So I have some takeaways. Just overall, I'll step through them all. It's a solid product. You're not buying a piece of shitty plastic. It's got, and it's comfortable. I was able to do it on the couch. We also did a setup today. It isn't as casual as your controller. If you want to sit on the couch, you're going to be upright. This guy's going to be on your leg. You're going to need something for the mouse.
It definitely has a lot more real estate that it takes up than just a controller. Yeah. So you're plopping down and playing casually is a little bit out the window than it would be normally, which is kind of a lot of the time where consoles come into play is like
casual
play.
On the couch.
Sitting on the couch and playing with your friends or playing online with your buddies. Still possible, but you will have to finagle your environment a little bit to be able to play comfortably and act without, you gotta have mouse pads and stuff like that. But we were able to come up with some interesting situations last night when we were just testing to be able to circumvent that while still being on the couch. Yeah,
so and that's just the thing of it. Like a controller it can be competitive, but this is like more of a competitive thing in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be, but the price point, and we'll get to that in a little bit, kind of insists on that. But so you get this solid mouse, you get this solid keyboard. Works great. There aren't any problems. Buttons feel good. They got more give, which brings me to your experience. If you are a PC gamer and you come over, you're not going to have the same experience. This is like an emulated kind of situation here. These games are tooled for consoles. There's going to be, like cooked in acceleration and things to make the aiming more smooth in some of the software titles. You're not going to have as many options. It's not going to be raw. Like if you sit down and play Call of Duty on the PC, you're going to have a certain feel. You switch over to Call of Duty on console. With this, it's not going to feel quite the same.
It's not going to be a one-to-one change.
No, it's not.
However, on the flip side of that, there is the possibility, because within the menus of all these games, you can go in and adjust your sensitivity of what you would be on the controller, adjust everything. You could probably fine-tune it to a sense, would you say, to be able to match that feel of a PC if you go into the game settings and fine-tune, as well as fine-tune your DPI and the different settings on here to be able to find a midpoint.
I think you're right. I think
which we didn't do.
What you're gonna find, it's gonna be a different experience, but you will have so many options with the app, with controlling your dead zones, or there's a lot of control in there to make this bring it to a point where you can adapt to it. And bottom line, you're going to have, I sounds really cheesy, but you're going to have some tactical advantage.
Oh, you said the thing.
So you will have you'll have that advantage with the aim. It's just, I can see. I'm a believer.
That's cool.
I understand.
so that's the positivities. There was one point of negativity, which we were able to experience. We experienced in Fortnite, and we experienced this, I'd say 3 or 4 times. Did not happen in Apex Legends, but there was a couple instances in Fortnite where our forward and back movement didn't register at all until we had engaged the strafing side to side, and only then did the forward and back movement kick in and start working. Now that we did experience that 2 or 3 games in a row, it wasn't a problem because as soon as we started strafing, then all the controls kicked into gear. But we weren't able to quite pinpoint why that occurred. If it was something within the app that we just missed, or something within here that we missed. But it only happened in Fortnite, so it could have also been something with the the keyboard and mouse speaking to the game Fortnite. But that was such a small, minuscule thing in this grand scheme of all the testing and the functions that we're just like, oh, that doesn't work.
It's weird. So the game starts, and you press forward to start walking, and it doesn't work. So you strafe, then forward works from that point forward.
But that wasn't also every time.
And we didn't experience that in menus or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't.
So if we played sure maybe like 9-10 games of Fortnite, that happened in 3, I think 4 of them. So there was a decent percentage where the forward and back was not happening right away. So just keep that in your mind's eye, though we didn't have quite enough time to be able to troubleshoot to find out why that was occurring, but that was the only thing.
Yeah.
$150, Gordy, for this. What do you think about that?
If you want to start acclimating to a PC environment, or you want to play PC style on the couch, this is great. $159 is a hefty, or $149 is fairly hefty, but you're not like buying just a controller. I mean, you got both of these guys right here. You have a support app, and you have some tactical advantage.
You said it again. Yeah.
What do you think?
I do think that, so obviously for a controller peripheral, that is quite the chunk of change, you know. But it's no different than the FGC or fighting game players that are spending $200, $250 on a fight stick. If you want the absolute most precise precision that you can get with your controls on an FPS shooter while maintaining the console casual playstyle, then this, I think, would be worth it for you. If you take your craft very seriously, much like fighting game players, absolutely, it's fine. Someone that doesn't play PC, myself, I wouldn't go out and spend the money on this, but I was very honored to be able to have the chance to review this, because I do think that we are able to bring to the table a more casual perspective, where the other reviews that'll be on this will be from people that are huge PC gamers and will be
high expectations.
But you know, what's the other side of the coin on that? Well, that's people that are casual gamers that are like, oh, I want to try something new, or I want to bridge the gap from PC gaming to console. Well, that's, you know, where this video will come in. So yeah, I do think that it's worth the price in the right situation.
So you had some time with this. What games would you play with this? Did you
I'd play Street Fighter. No,
I'd actually play Diablo on this.
That's interesting. Diablo would be really cool on this for sure. But honestly, the reason I wanted to pick Fortnite to play with this is because I think Fortnite's cool as shit. I really enjoy Fortnite. So I wanted to see what it would be like to step into those shoes of being able to have that precision to get them right in the head. And it's really cool. You were much easier to grasp on it than I was. Like it was as if like baby's first game. Like I was like looking at the ground and that stuff. So I was like, this is much better if Gordy takes over the reins of the testing. Not good at it, but if I spent like a week with it, I think I'd probably get pretty proficient and be able to at least get a kill or two in a match. So that's where I stand with it. So worth a buy if it's important to you, if the circumstances work for you. If you just want to stick with your controller, this isn't for you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
definitely not.
Guys, if you want to check out more reviews, they're all over the place on the channel. We've got reviews all over. We got a bunch more reviews coming from Hori in the next couple weeks. We worked out some stuff. So we have a lot of cool stuff that we're coming with them, and more in the future. So big shout out to Hori. Thanks for hooking us up with this to be able to take a look at it. Thanks to you for watching. Gordy, if they were to press a button to be able to see these videos on a regular basis,
would it be the subscribe button?
It would be the subscribe button and the bell. You know, hit that fucking bell, as the nerds say.
Yes, they do.
Say something wise.
That's how they say it.